Hi there, this is Jennifer Vanderbeek, artist in residence for Imagine, and today I wanted to show you how I put together this Dream Big art journal page. So I started with an acrylic block as my palette, inked up with 2 colors of Memento Looks and 1 Brilliance ink, all pigment inks, but I think in setting up for like filming, I think I waited a little too long and it started to dry out a bit. So I re-inked my palette and then I splashed on some water just to kind of give it a little bit more looseness, keep it active longer, and to see if I could get a bit more coverage from the ink. Close, but not quite there. So while I get great texture from the paper in my hand-bound art journal, it's not exactly what I wanted. So third time's the charm, I ink up the palette one more time, and I also use my head and some ink potion number 9 to truly loosen up the inks, and finally I get the coverage I was looking for. Going straight on to the next step, without cleaning my palette, I pour some white all-purpose ink onto that said dirty palette, and I use a brush sticks, the pointed type, to write my focal message, Dream Big. Now the pointed end is great for like maybe not small but medium letters, but if you lay it on its side, oh man, look at those great big gorgeous letters right there. I'm loving it. So far so good. It's a good start. And now what I'm going to do, see, I didn't clean the palette, so now I can still use what's left of that pigment to kind of add depth and dimension to the hand lettering. I'd love to say that that was on purpose. It's not. I'm lazy. I don't want to have to stop what I'm doing to clean. So sometimes little happy accidents like this happen. More times than not, I'd say. But either way, you just go with it. Now I'm using just regular old paintbrush with a little bit of water to thin out the all-purpose ink, and then spritzing it onto the background, kind of filling up a little bit of the abundance of negative space right now, and also smudging some into the corners. I really like to get into the page, so yes, I usually end up with inky fingers by the time it's done, but there's nothing wrong with that, right? Now I'm using a Memento marker. This is in Nautical Blue, and it's the same of the darkest color that I used on the palette. So again, we're kind of also using the rule of thirds. So we have a light, a medium, and a dark color for the palette and the background. And now as we build the foreground image of the art journal page. Pen detailing is something I like to do rather than just laying down a single color. Adding some highlights with either a white or silver gel pen is a really good way to make your lettering pop. I started with the white, this is the silver, and also with the silver I'm going to take and highlight some of those ink splatters and just kind of draw some little starbursts coming out of them because, you know, we got a black or a blue background and Dream Big. Stars are not far from, you know, the idea of this. Now, up till now, I was okay with the layout, but it was unfinished for me. And even though I know there's this rule about adding black to a composition, it flattens it, I decided to take a chance with the black Shimmer Delicata ink, the Rembrandt's Words stencil from Stencil Girl, and a sponge dauber, and just kind of splash some script around the page, around my focal message, and instead of flattening the image, I actually think that it added just the right touch. So maybe it's the sparkle, maybe glitter negates the rule about adding black to a composition. I don't know. Whatever it happened, I think it worked. A little bit more pen detailing because in my world you can never have enough pen detailing. A spritz of GooseBumps in the Shimmer, and the page is done. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you'll give art journaling a try, and of course, check out imaginecrafts.com for more tips and inspiration.